Nintendo just dropped 55 minutes of Pokopia gameplay, and instead of reacting in the moment, I actually sat down, took some notes. So here's what that full deep dive really reveals. The good, the interesting, I think a few things I'm unsure about, but let's get into it. So Pokopia is coming out on Switch 2 on March 5th. The first thing I instantly recognize with this game is it feels very Animal Crossing, which I love. Cosy, which we all know that's why I'm here. I was really interested to see kind of soft UI, rounded menus, pastel colours. I did find the Ditto character design slightly unsettling. I don't know what it is, it's the face, but you know, we'll get used to it, I'm sure. I liked some of the mechanics with Ditto though. I enjoyed it. Kind of has partial like Pokemon things depending on the move it's using. I also think Professor Tangrowth kind of adds structure a bit to the gameplay. I believe you can kind of go to them when you need help with things. I don't quite know, but they're there to kind of help, I believe. I really enjoy the fact that Pokemon appear gradually over time. I think this game ultimately it feels confident, but it's not. I don't know that it's necessarily reinventing a whole new genre, but I feel that, you know, it knows exactly who it's for. Like they've taken it's like they've thought we've got fans in the Animal Crossing space, we've got fans in the Pokemon space. And then also you could kind of say we've got fans in the Dragon Quest Builders space. What happens if we merge all of these things and make them into one game? And of course, Pokemon has a huge fan base, me included. So it's really interesting game actually, and I'm very much excited at seeing what comes next. What are the players actually doing? Well, you are welcomed into the world as Ditto with this human-like form, and he, she, whatever we want to say, learns abilities from Pokemon. So you can use Water Gun to water certain flowers. Again, there's that partial transformation detail, which is I think is kind of cool, kind of fun. And also basically to progress you get Pokemon requests. And they get like little speech bubbles above their head and you can talk to them. And that's when you learn moves from them. Also as well as that you get power points, which I believe is kind of like a stamina bar in any kind of farming sim game. And to replenish it, you can eat food. It seemed like it was pretty easy to get food, so it doesn't feel like it's going to be something that you're constantly grinding for. There's also a classic crafting loop. So basically, you're collecting, unlocking a recipe, and building something, which I am a sucker for that. You will get me looping and looping and looping all day long. um, I love it. And also, what else I loved was the crafting table, and you can place a storage box right next to it. And as depending on what's in there, as you're crafting stuff, it takes stuff from the box. So I don't think you necessarily have to have those things in your inventory at all times. Like if you've got a crafting table next to the box, it will just take it out. So love that little detail. The inventory as well, like the general inventory that your character has, just felt so much like Animal Crossing. But you know what? I'm here for it. I'm a big Animal Crossing fan, so I love that. And then of course you have habitats which attract various different Pokemon. I believe there's like a grassy one, and that can attract Charmander. I'm assuming it can attract other Pokemon as well. You also had something called the environment level and the comfort level, and I think that's to do with the general town area as well as how your Pokemon are feeling. And I also believe, like, if their comfort level increases a certain Pokemon, you see hearts above their heads. So I thought that was kind of cool. I don't really know what the environment level does. I assume it means you can perhaps maybe upgrade things further, maybe more Pokemon. I don't really know, but I'm sure that's something that we will find out as I play it when it comes out. There's also a lot of collection in this game, which of course Pokemon is kind of, the whole aim is to collect Pokemon, and you kind of got to do that in this game as well. But you can also collect various things. So, for example, I think it was the dowsing machine, and that with a particular Pokemon that can help you find certain things. So that's going to be really interesting to play with. I think there are structured requests, but there is a lot of creative freedom with building. So I'm interested to see how this all plays out. There's also a mechanic where you can like inhale collected items, kind of like it gave off very Kirby vibes. That was weird to me. It was a weird facial expression. But we know I've got an issue with with the Ditto characters, but I'm gonna move past it. It's gonna be fine. What are the game's strengths? Now, obviously, we can't take too much from, just one gameplay video. I haven't played the game yet. I think the performance looks smooth, so that's good. Strong Dragon Quest builders energy, which I'm here for. I've played quite a bit of Dragon Quest builders, but I think the fact that it's kind of with Pokemon is gonna just make me deep dive into this game even more. Customization looks like to be a really big factor in this game. I'm very much excited by it. You can decorate houses with crafted items, you can ask Pokemon to move in, and also, interestingly, so various Pokemon have habitat preferences. So Charmander likes warmth, obviously, because he's a fire Pokemon. So I guess depending on the Pokemon, it kind of they'll want different things in their house or their habitat. So that's really cool. Also, within the video, they did show some multiplayer stuff as well, which I think was based in Pallet Town for the multiplayer bit. I don't know about the other bit, but basically they kind of showed some of the character customization, which was cool. So you can change different hair, you can have different hair color, different like backpack color, your clothing color. So I wonder if you can unlock things later on to do with that, maybe, who knows. Also, you can do block by block building, which is fun, kind of Minecraft vibes. But there's also things called building kits, so I think that just basically builds a house for you so you don't have to do it, which again, that can be really handy if you're not really feeling like you want to build something yourself. And also, apparently there's an electricity system which will be very interesting. I wonder if electric Pokemon have a role to play in that. I'm sure they do. But one thing that I did also love to see was farming with Rototiller. I thought it was so cool, and I want to plow some soil in Pokopia. I mean, I don't know why that is so interesting to me, but it is. Here we are. Here we are. I'm also really excited for. I mean, we've kind of seen Lapras. You can turn into Lapras. You can turn into Dragonite flying. The only downside to that is that uses power points too. I think it uses quite a lot, so I think you have to kind of be careful with how you use those abilities. Another interesting thing, not that I'm going to play multiplayer much, but I think this is also I don't know, I feel like this is probably maybe in the single player mode as well. I would imagine there's a camera as part of the Pokédex and you can take selfies and things like that. But part of the video, it was quite funny. Charmander fell asleep behind them, which I was like, classic. What a move. What a move. So I guess, are there any concerns at this point? It's quite hard to tell because again, of course, they're only going to show like the best sides to the game. Like, we didn't see much of the wider world, but I do believe that was probably to avoid spoilers. They kind of want us to like, find that out for ourselves. And given it's coming out very soon, I totally get that. And I like that. I like that they didn't reveal loads and loads. But I'm still confused as to what town leveling will actually unlock, but again, that's something that we'll find out. I did notice when they were in the multiplayer mode, there was tons of request bubbles, but I don't know if that was just because, there was 4 people and there was a lot of Pokemon spawning, so of course there'd be more requests, and they weren't necessarily focusing on all those requests. They were doing other stuff and obviously filming a video at the same time. So I don't know whether that's a genuine concern to have. In all honesty, I'm excited for it. I can't really find any negatives because this is a game that's essentially aimed at me. And I'm sure many of you watching. I'm just absolutely excited for this game. I don't know if I'm going to be able to buy it on release day just because I don't have much money at the moment, but I am definitely going to pick this game up as soon as I can. I'm very much looking forward to it, as I've said multiple times. But I guess what stood out to you the most? Are you excited or are you still a bit unsure of what's going to happen next? Either way, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you in the next one. Bye.